Hello, Rex. You are with HeartsWay Hospice, in charge of the volunteers, I guess, right?
Yes, sir. Volunteers and our community outreach.
All right, and you guys got a big celebration coming up, 40 years. But first of all, what is HeartsWay Hospice?
HeartsWay Hospice is a nonprofit hospice provider in Longview. And like you said, we're celebrating 40 years. We were the first hospice in Northeast Texas to open back in 1984 and are still the only nonprofit operating out of Longview. We serve 17 counties. We have an office, obviously our headquarters in Longview, but also have offices in Marshall, Carthage, and Winsboro.
So expanded over the years.
We have a big territory, which is why our name changed from Hospice Longview, as it was originally called, to HeartsWay Hospice, because we didn't want there to be any confusion about the areas that we serve.
Okay, okay. And what kind of services do you offer?
So hospice is end-of-life care. If a person has a terminal diagnosis and a prognosis that of 6 months or less as far as a likelihood of life expectancy, then that person is deemed hospice appropriate. And then we can care for that individual. And as opposed to typical healthcare where you're treating the disease, we're treating the symptoms, making the individual as comfortable as possible, taking care of any pain issues, nausea issues, any GI issues, making that individual absolutely at peace and as comfortable as possible. So whatever time that they have left, they have a good quality of life.
Well, how rare is it that a nonprofit sticks around for 40 years?
It's very rare. As opposed to your typical for-profit business, which has investors and money coming in and money being reinvested with those investors and back into the business, patient care is our number one focus. And so everything we do is about the patients and the families that we care for. Any money that we make just goes back into those patients and the care that we do. In fact, we serve 8 times the national average of unfunded patients. We're proud to say in 40 years we've never sent a family a bill, and we never will. We're funded, reimbursed through Medicare primarily, Medicaid, private insurance, but in the event that someone falls in the cracks and doesn't have any of those coverages, then we still provide care based on their need.
Okay. How many people work here?
We have a little over 50 full-time employees, and then we have some part-time employees or PRN employees. Our regular staff is on call and rotates, which is kind of unique too. A lot of people in our industry will kind of hire out their on-call. It's our regular team that's on call, which is very reassuring to the families that we serve because they know someone familiar. If they have that 2 a.m. emergency, they know it's someone familiar coming through the door and not a stranger.
And then how does the volunteer situation work?
Volunteers see our patients. They visit with patients that are lonely, maybe a patient that's in a nursing home and doesn't have many visitors, or a patient that's home and needs some extra stimulation. Oftentimes at home, the patient can the volunteer rather, can sit with the patient and allow the caregiver to run errands or go get things done or just to take a break for a couple of hours. Volunteers also help out in the office, getting packets ready for admissions or with other filing, with events that we have, such as Love Lights at Christmas, an event we have coming up the first week in December, by the way, our annual golf tournament or a kids camp that we do every spring. Volunteers are vital in assisting with any of those things, and they can anyone can contact our office to learn more about volunteer opportunities.
So do you think a lot of your volunteers have maybe gone through the death of a family member?
A lot of the volunteers that we've served previously. They know about us because of the service we provided to their loved one, and they were moved and motivated by that service to then come alongside us and want to then in turn serve others.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Well, just again that we are local. We always talk about shop local, right? Buy local, shop local. We're local. In healthcare in particular, you see these big monstrous corporations that come in and they may have headquarters in some major metropolitan area or from somewhere else in the country. And I'm not knocking that, just to say that the decision makers oftentimes are not local, and we are. We're headquartered right here in Longview, and we serve Northeast Texas as we have for 40 years. We hope to do this for at least 40 more.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's actually one more question. What do you think the future holds?
Well, we hope to continue to provide quality care. We are the most awarded hospice in Northeast Texas. We're the only hospice in the state of Texas to win what's called Hospice Honors Elite, which is the highest rating that you can get. We've won that 6 consecutive years. We're very proud of the care that we give, and we want to continue to do that for as long as we're able.
All right. Thanks a lot, Rex.
You bet.